I, 57 male, have two daughters, 31 and 28. My younger daughter was married to a young man she had been with since high school. They married 3 years ago. I was able to pay for a beautiful wedding, no issues. Unfortunately, their relationship did not survive the pressure of the virus, and 4 months ago, my younger daughter announced to us that they had split. We were all heartbroken, and it was very hard on my younger daughter. 2 weeks ago, my older daughter announced she was engaged to a guy she has been seeing for several years. I have nothing against her fiancé, as he is a nice guy, although I don't know him well, and I want her to be happy. However, I feel as though her announcing her engagement was very insensitive in light of her sister's recent divorce, and I do not want to have another big family wedding right now, as her sister is still dealing with the end of her marriage. I also had to spend money on her divorce. I told my daughter that I could not in good conscience pay for her wedding now. I had planned to pay for both girls, and she should wait a few years until our family was in a better place. My older daughter said she and her boyfriend were looking to start a family and wanted to be married. When I said I wouldn't pay, she said, "Do whatever you want," very immaturely and sullenly, and I haven't heard much from her since. I'm not trying to get in the way of their family planning, as I would not judge if they had a child prior to marriage. I'm just looking to be sensitive and save face for my family. However, my older daughter told some other family what happened, and they say I'm being a jerk, although I think she's leaving out context. Am I the a-hole in this situation? You're the a-hole, so you're going to punish one daughter for the issues another is having in her own life? Just admit you like one daughter more than the other. Father of the year right here, being very sarcastic. Good job proving to your oldest that you really only care for the youngest. I can't believe you had the nerve to say you should wait to be happy. Yes, absolutely you're the a-hole, for a number of reasons. First of all, well, you're not an a-hole for this, but why are you paying for your daughter's divorce? Second, the fact that you're willing to pay for both the younger one's wedding and divorce, but not for the others, is completely unbalanced regardless of the circumstances. As one of two siblings, I can only imagine the frustration. Third, asking her to put her and her fiancé's life on hold for years is a ridiculous ask. And not just because they want to potentially have a baby and start a family. Though, while I'm on the subject, saying, "Well, I wouldn't budge," is hardly helpful. Fourth, I wasn't there obviously, but to sullenly say, "Do whatever you want," in response to finding out you won't pay for her wedding too, is a lot less petty than she could have been. Again, I wasn't there, but it reads a pretty reasonable response. I imagine that she was incredibly disappointed in that moment. And finally, her timing in announcing may have been inconsiderate, but I don't know the dynamics at play. But it's not your place to be the sole protector of your other daughter's feelings. They're both adults, and if the younger one feels uncomfortable, then it's the two of them that need to have a conversation. They're not kids now. It's not your place to hold all the cards and impose your will on such major life decisions. You're the a-hole. Your older daughter and her fiancé shouldn't be expected to put their lives on hold because your younger daughter is going through a divorce. If 4 months isn't long enough for them to wait after her separation, what is? You don't have to pay for your other daughter's wedding, but older daughter will see that as the favoritism it is. Okay, for some context. I'm a single, 29 female, and I have an older brother, 34 male, and sister-in-law, 34 female, with 2 kids. My 3-year-old niece is the one we're going to be talking about now. My niece is a virus baby and has very little social interaction with people or other kids because of the virus. Unfortunately, it's also a bit because, in my opinion, and most of my family's, my sister-in-law is a helicopter parent that doesn't let her kid do anything without her being right there. There have been multiple tense moments between my family members for that reason, but that's a story for another time. I'm a single female without kids. However, I have been around and involved with caring for kids in some way or another most of my adult life. I'm CPR and emergency first aid trained. I'm financially responsible and have absolutely no record of anything bad to speak of. I have offered to watch my nieces and basically was met with the attitude from my sister-in-law that since I don't have kids, I wasn't really trusted to look after my niece without my sister-in-law also being present. Talk about insulting. Apparently, popping out a kid somehow makes you a more trustworthy and responsible human? I think not. Anyhow, my niece has everything physical she could possibly want. She's spoiled and just gets bought whatever she wants whenever she wants. She's got an entire basement full of toys. So many clothes. I've purchased outfits I'm sure still have the tags on, and I've never seen her wear. She's got literally hundreds of books. So I was lost on what to buy her for Christmas. I didn't want to just have items she never plays with or wear end up in a landfill. I'd rather pay for an experience or activity we can do together and create memories with her. She loves the zoo, absolutely loves it, and always says she wants to go. My sister-in-law doesn't drive, and my brother works shifts, so it's hard for them to do things like that. So, as a gift for my niece, I bought 3 passes for 1 adult and 1 child to go to the zoo, meaning I would take her without my sister-in-law. There was an option for passes for a family with 2 adults and up to 3 kids, but I know if I got that, every time I wanted to take my niece, my sister-in-law would include herself. So I only paid for the pass for my niece and I. But I'm wondering if I'm an a-hole for doing that. I feel like she's going to be mad, and I'm not necessarily saying my sister-in-law cannot come if she wants to, but she will be paying for her own tickets and food, etc., if she chooses to join. This was a gift for my niece and an opportunity for her and I to bond and make memories. So I wanted it to be about her. My mom is implying I'm going to create drama and says I probably should have bought a family pass to be safe, because what if she never lets me take her? Now it's just wasted money, etc. So I ask, am I the a-hole for not getting a family pass and only paying for my niece and I? You're the a-hole. You are not owed one-on-one time with anyone's child, period. It's not your business how anyone raises their kid. Sounds like you already know your sister-in-law is not going to be okay with you taking her kid anywhere without her. You didn't talk to sister-in-law or your brother about this gift at all before going ahead and purchasing it. So on Christmas, it will be a surprise. I intend to take your kids somewhere special, and I'd prefer it be without you around. But I guess if you have to come along, I won't begrudge you. I just certainly wouldn't include you in the cost of the gift or experience. Your mom is right. You're definitely poking the bear. This isn't your kid. You know your sister-in-law's boundaries as a parent, and you're going to get a rise with this gift. You're the a-hole here for sure. You're the a-hole. Your sister-in-law does not wish to let you have solo visits with your niece without her supervision, so you are weaponizing that for your niece's Christmas gift. Prepare for your passes to go unused. You have so much disdain for your sister-in-law that your mom is telling you to quit your crap. You better believe your sister-in-law knows how you feel about her, so stop. If you ever want to have a meaningful relationship with your nieces, stop antagonizing your sister-in-law. I, 25 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 26 male, for just over a year. It's going great. We get on really well, and I really like his family. He has 1 son, 9, from a past relationship, as well as 2 other kids that are actually his siblings who he is fostering. His son's mom isn't around, as she passed away about a month after their son's first birthday. Recently, I started thinking about the possibility of us moving in together. We don't always get to see each other as much as I would like, since he's busy with his kids a lot. The oldest is 16, and the youngest is only a baby, so he has a lot on his plate. So I think living together would be nice, as it would mean I get to see him way more often, and we stay at each other's places a bunch anyway. So in order to make the move a little easier, I started taking over some of the household chores, like cleaning the living room. One day I was cleaning, and I accidentally knocked a picture of my boyfriend and his ex and their son off the shelf. I put the frame somewhere safe, but there was a little crack in the frame, so I went on a hunt for some super glue. On my boyfriend's dresser is a box that I thought had spare batteries and stuff in. It turns out, it's full of pictures of him and his ex, as well as a bunch of her jewelry, and a locket that I'm pretty sure has her hair on it. I recognize at least one necklace as the one she has in the photo. There's also letters in there that he had been writing to his girlfriend about their son. I don't mind people's grief and processing, but the letters were so recent. I know it's petty, but I put the box in a drawer out of the way. He noticed the box was missing almost as soon as he got home, and he asked me if I had seen it. It upset me to see him so panicked about it, but I gave him a chance to explain what was so important about it, and he said that it was full of sentimental things. I told him that I had found it and knew what was in there, and I asked why he had kept all that stuff all these years. He started crying and told me that it was important to him, and that the box was a gift for his son when he turned 10. He wanted his son to have things of his mom's, since there isn't much for him. I told him that he could have told me all that, but he didn't, so I was stuck comparing myself to her, and that I could have helped with the box, especially since I'm basically his son's new mom anyway. He apologized and asked me to give him the box back. I told him I needed time to think before I did that, and he asked me to get out of his house. I thought I was justified in being concerned about how devoted he was to a dead woman, but now I'm not so sure. Am I the a-hole? Wow, you're the a-hole. I understand you like this man, but you're actively trying to replace a dead woman. I'm basically his son's new mom anyways. You're not, and you never will be. The truth is, he would still be with her if she was around, and you can't stand to bear that. Also, hiding his stuff and saying you'll return it when you want to? You're a huge a-hole, and I really hope he leaves your insecure self. You're the a-hole. His girlfriend died. She's not his ex. He still loves her. Of course he does. He will love her until the day he dies. That doesn't mean that he can't love you too, but it does mean that you can't stomp all over his memories of her in the insensitive way you describe here. I'm going to say this gently. This is not the relationship for you. You are clearly threatened by the memory of this woman. She isn't his ex. She died. They will always grieve her loss. She's not replaceable, and frankly, I don't think you are the right fit for this family. They need someone who can exist inside this family without being intimidated or jealous of the missing person, and that's clearly not you. You're the a-hole. I'm female 25, and my brother was dating Sarah from college. They both are 28 right now. Sarah and my brother broke up last year. The reason was because Sarah had fallen out of love and told me. She felt very bad and they had a very rough breakup. My brother was heartbroken and he translated that into rage. I had gotten close to Sarah over the years and I considered her my sister. Recently, she has fallen on hard times and I have allowed her to move in. When my brother found out, he was really pissed and told me to tell her to live somewhere else. I told him no because whatever problems they had did not involve me. He got really pissed at me and screamed at me. My brother and I had a pretty good relationship till this point, and now he has no contact with me. It's not just him though. The rest of my family has been calling me an a-hole for choosing her over my brother. Even my parents have been quiet about the topic, and I know that they think I'm in the wrong. But I don't think anyone understands how difficult being homeless is. I also cannot believe my parents, who thought Sarah would one day be their daughter-in-law, just turned the switch off and want nothing to do with her. It is my brother's birthday next week, and I really want to go, but my cousin told me that I would not be invited and even sided with my brother. This really is hurting me because I love him and want to be there for him, but I no longer can. After all the a-hole comments I received, I wonder if I'm the a-hole. You're the a-hole. Maintaining your friendship with Sarah is one thing. Moving her into your house is something different. What in the world did you think was going to happen when you pulled this stunt? You're the a-hole, dude. I get it. She had fallen on hard times and you wanted to help her. It's your apartment and you should be able to move anyone you want in. However, you did it with a person you knew would upset your brother. This was absolutely a bad idea, and now it's causing a family drama that was not worth it. Now, I don't think that you can even back out at this point. I don't think you're a bad person. It was just a really bad idea. You're the a-hole. While you consider Sarah to be a sister, she isn't. She is a former friend of your brother's, and he is still hurting from the loss of that friendship. You had no business getting into the middle of that affair. We all come from a very traditional and family-centric culture. Weddings are usually about family in our culture, as if it's a big reunion. The ideal wedding is more than 200+ guests, and you're frowned down upon if it's less guests, especially if family is excluded. I'm of the belief that culture is very important. My wedding was amazing, and I made sure to make it both about me and my husband, but also about our families. We never agreed with the wedding is only about the couple's mindset. Nobody in our family agreed. So now my brother and his fiancée are about to get married in some months. I had a birthday dinner a few days ago, and my parents, my brother, and his fiancée were invited. On the wedding topic, I asked them their honest opinions on what their dream wedding would look like. My brother asked me if I really wanted his honest opinion, and I said yes, not expecting what I was about to hear. His dream wedding would be to invite everyone in our family to the church so they could attend the ceremony, but they wouldn't want a party or a reception afterwards. And the ideal thing would be to either gather with some friends at home and have some drinks and food, or rent out a small place like a restaurant or tavern for just them and their 10 to 15 closest friends, and have a dinner or a beer, and then just go home. They said that they're not doing that though, because they feel basically forced to please family due to our culture, and that it's no point talking about that because if they had their dream wedding, we'd constantly nag them. My parents and I took great offense on those options. Options that my sister-in-law basically agreed on and said that's her dream wedding too, because she can't stand family pressure. We explained to them that this is not a wedding, that's just a night out, and it's ridiculous how young people have so little value for weddings and family nowadays. They said we are the a-holes for being upset because we asked for their honest opinion, and they have it. You're the a-hole. Weddings are personal. This is your cue to be decent and help them actually have the wedding of their dreams, instead of the wedding of your and your parents' dreams. Personally, I think they've got the right idea. Focus on what's important, the wedding, not the reception, which is basically a party. It's really ironic that you can't see this. And it's sad that they know they can't have this because you and your parents won't be supportive. In any case, you asked. Being rude about their answer was obnoxious. If you don't want an honest answer, don't insist on getting one. You're the a-hole. You're trying to police not just other people's actions, but their thoughts and feelings, which they wouldn't even have bothered you with if you hadn't insisted. You're the a-hole. It's not your wedding, it's theirs. It wasn't clear who's paying for the wedding. If your parents are, then maybe it is something they should talk about. But if your brother and sister-in-law-to-be are paying, that makes you and your family even bigger a-holes for putting that additional financial pressure on them. Just because it's part of family's culture doesn't mean they have to agree with it.